Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This is our first sit-down video.
Yeah, it is.
So this video has been highly requested, so we're finally sitting down to do it, although it is like, what, 2 months later?
Yeah.
We went on the cruise August, and like 2 months later, but we're finally doing it. We've been thinking about what to say, and we don't want to make this a negative review because there's lots of good things, but we also want to talk about things that we didn't like, and the things that we loved about Disney Cruise Line, and the things that we loved about Symphony of the Seas. Without further ado, let's just start from the beginning. Boarding was good, right?
Boarding was actually really easy, but that's because we had
expedited boarding.
So
Royal Caribbean has expedited boarding. Some people get it, some people don't. I don't know how it works, but
so I got it, but he didn't.
Right.
But because he's with me, so
yeah, so I got to like tag along with him. I think we got on the ship in like less than 10 minutes in Barcelona, so that was really good. Now I remember when we got on the ship, it was amazing, but the first thing that we didn't like the first thing that made you upset was
coffee.
Well,
no, okay, so it was just a small little thing, but you boarded and you went to that first spot that you see in the whatever they call it, the atrium promenade, and so they're like, oh, they have coffee, you get it right there. So I'm like, oh good, I need it. It was, we had gotten up early, we were doing a lot of things just before that, and they were out.
They were out of coffee.
I needed coffee.
They had like tons of different like containers with the coffee, and they were all out of coffee. And like that's the first thing that he wanted as soon as he got on the ship. So it might seem like a little thing, but it's like within the first like 5 minutes of like boarding the ship, like no one had coffee, and then you asked someone to get it for you, and then they never came back out. So then we just left with no coffee. So that was like our first disappointment.
I know it's not a big deal. It really isn't.
It's not a big deal.
Coffee. But if you're a coffee lover and you need the coffee, the caffeine in the morning, it's.
But when it comes to customer service, like if you ask someone like, oh, you guys are out of coffee, and you ask them to like refill them, and they never come back out, that is what is upsetting.
Ship was beautiful. It's still that was worth it. That atrium, that first atrium you go into with all the shops.
It's a very beautiful ship. We're probably gonna keep saying that over and over and over.
Yeah,
again.
that ship was amazing. I mean, there's nothing negative about its looks.
Now the next thing we want to talk about is the shows. So they had different kinds of shows on the ship, but you had to sign up for them. Like you had to make sure you had the tickets for them. And luckily, like I like to prepare like in advance, so like we had tickets for everything. But on Disney Cruise Line, everyone gets to go to the show, whether or not you sign up for it or not. Like everyone has a showtime seating, either before or after dinner, so everyone gets to go. So whereas on the Symphony of the Seas, not everyone got to go to the show if there was not space or if they forgot to book it ahead of time. So the Symphony of the Seas, we watched Hairspray. I really enjoyed it. I've never seen it before, so I really enjoyed Hairspray.
I love Hairspray.
And then we also watched a stand-up comic.
That was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed okay, so there was like the warm-up comedian to the comedian. And the warm-up comedian is from here in Fort Lauderdale. And he was hilarious. He was great.
Yeah, he was
and actually the comedian after him was also very funny too. Wasn't expecting it to be that great, and it was pretty good.
It was really funny. Now another thing about Royal Caribbean, or the Symphony of the Seas rather, that I found really upsetting was like the drinks are like so overpriced, like extremely overpriced, like $13, $14, $15 cocktails. Maybe because I haven't been on a lot of cruises and I've never been on Royal Caribbean before, but on Disney, like a lot of their cocktails are like under like $10. Like whenever.
Hey, I thought we were doing a comparison here.
We are comparing. Yeah, we're gonna compare certain things. Some things we're gonna compare. So like on Disney, like a pina colada is maybe like $6. Or on Royal Caribbean, it was like $11, $12 or something.
It was $13. It was pretty pricey. So that's something to keep in mind. They do have the drink packages, which if you're a drinker, we're like mild drinkers, so it doesn't really benefit us because you have to drink a certain amount per day to actually get your money's worth. But if you are a drinker, then the drink package I've read is the best way to go.
One main thing, like I think I mentioned it in the vlogs actually. First day of our 7-day cruise on Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas, we went to dinner. Basically, you go to your same table every day of the cruise, and then you have the same server every day. And so we showed up and we go to the host stand, because what do hosts and hostesses do? They seat you.
They seat you.
They seat you and they take you to your table. They did not do that.
No, he did not do that.
Yeah.
And what's his name again?
We're not mentioning names.
Come on, you remember the name. He knows the name. He remembers the name.
We're not mentioning names here. It's not him. It's like, I don't think they do that. Like, I don't think Royal Caribbean or Symphony of the Seas on that ship. Because again, this is our experience, okay? This is our experience. What we're trying to say is we don't get seated there. No one takes you to your table. So basically on your card, it says your table like 102. you have to go fishing and looking through all these tables and looking at the little number on your table, make sure to find your number. So there could be like hundreds of tables and you have to like look through all of them. So he basically told us, go that way, underneath the stars. And we had to just like look through all the tables, and finally we found our table, which was taken at the time.
Apparently we were a little bit late.
Yeah, we were like 20 minutes late to dinner, so then they gave away your table.
Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they hated us for being late. I don't know.
At least seat the guests on the first night so that way they know where they're going, right?
Yeah.
So they know which table will be theirs for the next 7 nights. At least just first night, and that way we know. But we just felt like we were like walking through tables and people were already seated and we were trying to find our number, and it's kind of chaotic.
It didn't leave a good impression.
Whereas on Disney Cruise Line, every night they take you and they seat you at your table.
So they have a really good process, and they make you feel welcome. Again, that was the first big thing service-wise. But it was also the first, I mean, there's some, maybe you've seen it in the previous videos. We had a great time. So that first day we went to the top of the ship.
We did a zip line.
We did the zip line, which was really fun. And the best time to go is the very first day, because there was nobody there, right?
Yeah, the zip line was really fun. We also went down the slide. We did a lot of the cool things that the ship had to offer on the first day.
The only day, because I mean, our itinerary was pretty full, so there wasn't really a lot of time on the ship. So that's something to consider too. If you're doing, like, we did the Mediterranean one, but it's coming to Miami now.
Hey,
This
it's coming
month.
to Miami.
It should be here.
It should either be here or I think it's here already. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we did the European one that left out of Barcelona, which all the stops were amazing. We had an amazing time in all the stops. The only one negative thing in August is what?
Oh yeah, so traveler tip number 1, if you're going to Europe in the summer and you want to do a cruise, any sort of trip, it doesn't matter. August is a really bad time. It's just jam-packed.
Everyone's on vacation in August in Europe.
The kids are not in school yet.
It was very crowded.
Don't go in August.
So that kind of like takes away a little bit. So that has nothing to do with Royal Caribbean or Symphony of the Seas. It's just the time that we decided to travel was not a good time for people who don't like crowds, and we're not a fan of crowds.
Who is?
A lot of people don't mind crowds. I don't like crowds. So that's just the thing. So if you don't like crowds, just don't go in August. But other than that, like, all the amenities were great. The zip lining was fun. Slide, all those things. We didn't get to do the rock climbing wall.
There's really a lot to do. The problem is there's a lot to do, and then there's a lot on the itinerary. So it's sort of pick or choose, and we knew that going in after we purchased when we. So research. First thing to do is research, because we got excited and we're like, oh, Mediterranean cruise, oh, Symphony of the Seas, let's do it, it's brand new. And then afterwards we started looking and I was like, oh, this is bad. We've got these really great ports of calls, and then the ship itself has so much cool stuff to do that.
So we didn't know what to do. We didn't know.
You have to balance it. We try to plan it, right?
Yeah, we didn't know. Should we stay on the ship or should we go out into like Italy? You know, like they have so many amazing things in both things. So that was kind of like hard to.
No, Italy.
Yeah.
Duh.
Such an amazing ship in such amazing ports of call, and you didn't know which to do. Okay, so another thing that we were not happy with was the fact that, so obviously we're traveling with like tons of clothes, and you know, we're trying to have nice dinners, and we want to like iron them because they've been in luggage. Royal Caribbean or Symphony of the Seas, that ship, I don't know what it is, but they don't have irons, or they don't have an ironing room, or they don't have anything like that. So we weren't able to.
Or laundry room. So the difference with like that ship and others I've been on, there's usually a laundry room, and a lot of times there's an iron or something that you can use. In this case, in the Royal Caribbean, that's not their thing. So everything is, how I put it is, they nickel and dime you. So if you want something cleaned, if you want something ironed or pressed, everything's a charge. Which makes sense, but they don't give you the option to do it yourself.
Yeah, so that was annoying. It's like, okay, so I can't iron my shirt for my nice dinner. I have to pay to have it ironed. Like, I can just do it myself. Where on Disney Cruise Line, we went Palo for a brunch or something, and we had our shirts that we wanted to iron, obviously, because Palo is a nicer attire restaurant. And there was, on our floor, luckily, they had washing machines. They had 5 or 6 like ironing boards with irons attached to them. So we just went, we ironed our shirts, and we were good to go. So that was very convenient about Disney Cruise Line.
What else?
Obviously, you guys know that we didn't really care very much for Wonderland.
Yeah, we're still wondering where it went wrong.
Yeah. And we're still talking about it because we were just so excited about Wonderland, and like the service was not very good. What?
Yeah.
What did you mouth?
I said you were excited.
I was excited about Wonderland.
You were super excited.
But when I got there, it just felt like it was very kind of like sloppy. I don't know. But that was that. Whereas on Disney Cruise Line, I don't know, is this a comparison? It's not, but it's just what I love about Disney Cruise Line and what I didn't love about Symphony of the Seas, but on Disney Cruise Line, Palo is amazing every single time. And if you're gonna pay an upcharge, which Palo is $30, that's it. Per person.
But that was for brunch.
But no, for dinner too.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, it's $30 upcharge per person, and it's an incredible dining experience.
Amazing. It's
amazing. Here we go to Wonderland, where it was like $50 per person, I think a little more, and it was not good. So disappointing. Moving on.
So food options, like any ship, the buffet area is always hit or miss. Standard is sort of like.
I hated the buffet on the Symphony of the Seas. I literally dreaded setting foot in that place.
Well, okay, but it was always packed because it was August and it was families and they were just running rampant. Nobody understood common courtesy, so expect that. Maybe it's a European thing or who knows. But don't expect common courtesy. Don't expect like, hey, you're waiting in line, someone just cuts right in front of you, or there are a lot of rude people.
But that's not the cruise line thing. That's just...
No, that was just, I'm just FYI, just maybe it's August, maybe it's, the time of year. But those are some of the things that impacted the experience.
Yeah.
Besides the food quality. I mean, the food looks good. It's one of those, it's a mirage.
Yeah, it looks good. It's like buffet. Like, it looks amazing, and then when you taste it, it's not as good. So it looks better than what it tastes. Just because it's like mass produced.
Then there's the other one, Local Fresh? Or
Local Fresh.
Local Fresh, which is the Tex-Mex style.
On the Symphony of the Sea, like the Mexican joint.
He loves it.
Gio, come here. Sorry, the dog. Come here.
Yeah, we can't trust him. He's a little pisser.
Yeah, so I really loved the Mexican quick service on the Symphony of the Sea. That was one of my favorite things to do. I wanted to do that every day. That's how good it was.
That was a good positive, I think, about it.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, so the main dining. Really, the best food experience was the main dining room.
Yes, for sure.
Us.
And then our server was super nice. He was really nice, really sweet. The food was the best, in the main dining room. So the Solarium Bistro, which is kind of like in the adult area of the ship, but it's not really adults because it's 16 and up. But they had a bistro, like a restaurant there, and it's all like organic food and all
healthier
options.
Healthier,
yeah, that was really good too.
We did that for breakfast. I don't think we really did lunch on the ship. That's the other thing, by the way. So we can't really talk about that. Oh, and then there's also the pizza joint on the ground where you first enter. And I think they're open late. And they're
it's called Sorrento's.
Sorrento's, there we go.
That was pretty good. You go and get like free pizza. Again, like I said earlier, they have the Solarium. The Solarium is for people 16 and up, and it's supposed to be like more like of a private, sort of like a quieter area for people to lay in and like relax and lay out, and they have like hot tubs and jacuzzis.
It is really nice, by the way, especially at night, right? Because there's that lighted sculpture piece that comes on, and the music sort of changes.
At night, it's really nice.
But we were there in August.
We were there in August, and during the day, there was kids in there under 16 years old, and it was very loud and crowded and noisy. The total opposite of probably what it was supposed to be. So that was out with Solarium, but again, it's probably the time of the year. Maybe we should do it like when it's like not as busy.
Yeah, I would definitely try to go like towards a slower season. And probably when they're down here in the States. It was just a bad time of the year, I think.
I also think that we were at a disadvantage because we had done Disney Cruise Line 2 times this year prior to going on a Symphony of the Seas, and they're very different cruise lines. So all I'm doing in my mind, or that we're doing, is comparing, and that's what we shouldn't be comparing, just because they're 2 different products and 2 different types of service, I guess, because Disney's like top-notch service, and they pride themselves on that. And I don't know what really Royal Caribbean's about. I shouldn't be comparing them, but it's hard not to compare.
We also did Norwegian, and that was, even though that was considered a party ship, the one we went on, the Norwegian Sky.
I'll link it right here if you want to see those vlogs.
That was also a fun ship, and the Sky is nice because that's an all-inclusive drinking package.
So it's not extra.
But that's a party ship, so if that's what you want, and I mean, it was a fun ship.
We did that for my 30th birthday, and I had no complaints about that. Okay, so one other thing on Royal Caribbean, the Symphony of the Seas, was we had to go and check out our pool towels. So we wanted to go to the pool, we had to go and swipe our key to one of the team members that worked there, and they would give us the towel. We would have to return this towel every time before we would go back to our room, or we'd be charged a $25 fee.
I think though, I'm a little confused because it wasn't very clear, but I think you can keep it as long as you return it before you disembark. Because then otherwise you charge like $25 or 20, something like that for each towel. But they didn't make that very clear in the beginning, so it was confusing to us. Again, he's citing the Disney ship. Even the Norwegian, it's like you just grab a towel and you toss it in the bin afterwards. It was not a big deal.
I guess what Royal Caribbean is trying to do is just trying to like make sure that people don't leave their towels all over the place, so that way, you know how sometimes people leave a towel on a chair and you don't know if that chair is taken or not?
That's why they have pool attendants. That's what a pool attendant does. They go and they check, and you know, hey, the one's been there for a while. They remove it, and it's yours. So I had just like he did Postmate, I tried Lyft, and my very first customer was a woman who worked for Royal Caribbean. And so we started talking, and she asked me how my experience was, and you know, I told her it was, you know, the good and bad. She says she works there, and she went on a cruise herself and had not such a great experience either. Their customer service is something that's a big complaint.
Yeah, I also remember because we bought one excursion on the Symphony of the Seas. We went down to the excursion center where you go and buy your shore excursion, and basically you go up to the kiosk and you do it all yourself. I found that very like not personable. Like there was no one like around to like assist you.
Well, actually there was. So there was one person, and he said, "Oh, yes, over there." So it's kind of like, yeah,
that was how he assisted us.
Do it on your own. I said, okay, fine, we're paying money to do it on our own. I mean, you technically do that already when you're at home if you do it in advance.
It's not a huge deal. I guess like Royal Caribbean, more like they want you to be more independent, whereas Disney Cruise Line, they coddle you and they want to take care of everyone and make, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's like any sort of, you know, I work in the hospitality industry, and so every place is a little different, but they have a philosophy or brand, you know, like how they want to treat the guests. This one seemed a little disorganized. I don't know, again, whether that's standard or not, and it's not to badmouth them, but it was just, like I said, it was both here and there. Some were amazing and others were just down here.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I will probably say it was like 6.
Okay, so wait, what are we doing there? Are we talking about like
overall
appearance? Are we talking about
overall
service?
Everything, overall.
Overall?
6.5.
I'm trying to be fair,
I don't know.
so I would say like a 7.
Okay, fine. I changed mine to a 7.
I want to be fair. It wasn't really bad. It was actually, for the most part, like I said, we didn't really spend as much time on the ship, but the little time we got to spend, that's where the problems happened. So yeah, it's like overall appearance, it's a 10.
Yeah.
That ship is a 10, if not more.
Let's do it in like categories. So appearance was a 10. Food was probably like a 6.
Depending on where you're at. So yes.
And the
main dining, I would say, would be an 8. 8. Maybe 8.5.
No, it was not that great. It was
so
good, but it was not like amazing.
It was good. It was better than, maybe because it was better than everything on the ship, that it seemed great.
Like the desserts?
Desserts were never good.
Or not that good. Until the last night. The last night of the ship, the dessert was actually good.
I mean, I kept to the standard because I figured you can't mess it up, but like I would have like apple pie a la mode. And that's so basic, you know what I mean? But yeah, they weren't like, wow.
Okay, so for food, we said food in the main dining room was an 8.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being generous. Maybe I'm giving an 8 because, you know, the server was really good.
Yeah, the service was really good. Yeah.
Maybe that played a part.
See, sometimes service really does a lot to like amp up the experience. Even though the food or the product is crappy, but the service can just really amp it up.
Yeah, so shout out to Vasil,
our server. We still remember him, see? 2 months later.
Yeah, he was good.
That's how good he was. So that's that. That was our opinions on Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas and our review on it and our experience. It may not be the same for everyone. It was our experience on the time of the year that we went.
Keep that in mind. August is bad.
Anyway, before this video gets too long, it's gonna be hard to edit it.
That's true, yeah.
We're gonna end it here. So we hope this was a good video for you guys and that you were able to take some information away. I hope you don't think that we're like snobs or terrible people, but that was just our experience.
But anyway, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll be going on a cruise soon. Hopefully we're going on a Disney cruise very, very soon.
Okay. Hopefully, yes.
I think it's a lot of time.
But I want to try another cruise line.
Not Carnival. They just had an accident, by the way. Kind of an accident. Something like they tilted and then people were like sliding.
What?
They got off the ship at the next port. Something like that happened.
Alright, no Carnival for us, sorry.
Anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. We're gonna have lots more cruise videos to come because we're cruisers. I love cruising. Do you love cruising?
I like cruising. I like traveling.
So anyways, make sure to subscribe down below. Turn on that little bell for post notifications and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.